Dumelang. I'm back. Okay, hi guys, my name is Linda Maponyane-Kobua. For sure, when you hear that Dumelang, you're like, yay, I know this gal, I knows her. Anyway, my name is Linda Maponyane-Kobua, and yes, I am a pastor, I'm a businesswoman, I'm a wife, I'm a mom, I'm an author, and these are my books right here next to me. And I've got 2 new other books loading, so be on the lookout. I'm going to talk about them very soon here. But yeah, guys, hi, hello. It's been a minute, a very long minute. Hey, like this minute has not really been minuting, it's been yearsing, so to speak. Anyway, yes, I'm excited. I'm excited to actually be recording this very video that I'm recording now. And for me, it's a testament to resilience. It's a testament to power. It's a testament to never giving up. It's a testament to just being able to go deep within you and go pull out the willpower to say, I'm going to try just one more time. I'm going to try again. I'm going to do this just one more time. And that's what brings me here. I'm sure it's been glaring that I have been absent on various platforms. I've been absent on the pulpit. I've been absent on this platform. I've been absent even on social media, to a degree. My interactions have not been have not been lindaing. I've been pulling a on and off, type of relationship with not just social media, but various aspects of my life. I suppose the only thing I kind of kept is my business and the work I do, because the girl must eat, the kids must eat, and I have to make a living. And I'm going to share why I had taken the back seat and why I had temporarily hung my mic. And I'm hoping that it's going to make sense to a lot of people. It's going to make sense to those that perhaps have been wondering or even making assumptions, we hope it's not marriage that swallowed her. We hope it's not poor Mr. K that's making her to stop doing the work that we know her Guyona. It's got nothing to do with marriage. It's got nothing to do with my guy. It's got nothing to do with, it just has everything to do with an encounter I had that left me silenced, if that's the word. And I briefly did share about it on Facebook sometime last year. I gathered the strength to speak. I don't know if it was last year or it was early this year. I don't even remember. I'm not even keeping track, because I suppose even when I was sharing it, it wasn't intention, but it was, I don't know. Yeah, but I can't even remember. Anyway, I'm going to start my story by saying I was born in Moleji, bred or raised in various places, Moleji being one of them, Soweto, Mokopane, Benoni, and part of the reason for all the moving was because the people who were taking care of me at the time either also had to move, or at some point it was marriage, my mom's marriage, So different and various reasons brought the moving around. But I think the biggest thing that I would then want to talk about, or to bring to the fore, is that I am an only child. I'm an only child. My mom had one child, and that child is me. And backtracking a bit, my grandmother had one child, and that child is my mom. So I come from a lineage where it's one child who happens to be a girl. And when I looked at the pattern, I knew what I needed to do. I knew that there's an assignment upon my shoulder that is going to require me to be intentional about changing and rewriting the bloodline history. And what I then realized is that, and I'm going to say this with great conviction, what I then realized is that part of the reason why I personally believe, my own conviction, why I believe my marriage was, for a lack of a better word, delayed, was to also bring me to a place where I'm going to be frustrated about what I foreknew before I got married, that I would need to rewrite the bloodline history. And this is by not only having one child who's a girl, but having more than one, so that my child doesn't have to be the one who carries the responsibility of correcting the bloodline, the perpetuated bloodline, whatever. In English, it's in the afternoon now. Anyway, so with that knowledge, at my forethoughts, I knew what was upon my shoulders as far as an assignment is concerned, as far as what I needed to do is concerned. If you've not watched my video on this channel where I speak about having had a difficult pregnancy and what got revealed about that pregnancy, I would advise you to go and check it out so that this makes sense to you. But yeah, my first pregnancy, difficult, extremely difficult, to an extent where there's a doctor in Limpopo who could pick up that I had two sacs, and the one sac had a baby and the other one didn't. And prior to that, a week prior to this particular consultation, I had started bleeding, and he believes a part miscarriage took place. So basically, he believes I was carrying double, and that happened. But in the mix of things, then there was a very good brother of mine. I think I have spoken about him as well. Even in the book, Journey to My Ideal, I mention how he's the one who actually saw my husband and everything about him. Well, not everything, but vital details of his arrival and him marrying me. He brought that to my knowledge. So before I went to the doctor in Bulukwan, he's the one who actually said to me, in your mother's bloodline, there's twins. And I'm like, oh, no, there's no twins. In fact, he started by asking. And then when I said, no, there's no twins, he says, I'm not asking, I'm actually telling you. There's twins, and they were skipping generations, and they now came to you. And this is what I suspect happened. The boy escaped, the girl is left. And indeed, couple of weeks later, go for a scan, and it's confirmed it's a girl. And many of you may have seen her here and there on socials, and many of you have met her, and yes, it is indeed a little girl. Now, obviously you can imagine how distraught I was, because that would have been a two birds with one stone type of situation, and not just two birds with one stone type of situation, but also and we are done. and we are done. Secretive catch. We are moving to other things that we need to do in life, because yes, the pattern has been corrected in that sense. Then I knew that the journey is not done. It's only beginning, it's only starting. Anyway, Lisedi comes. Lisedi, when she was about a year, we started trying again. And by God's grace, a year and a couple of months into her existence, I fell pregnant again. This time, my husband is living in the Eastern Cape because of work. I find out I'm alone. And the feeling, those who've been pregnant more than once would know that the feelings are not the same. Just because you vomited ka first born, ka second born, you'll just be dizzy, whatever. So the feelings are different. With the first pregnancy, I was extremely tired. And I had a hectic food evasion. Like I didn't want food like it was the week. Like I did not even want to at all. But this time around, and which is perhaps part of the reasons why I didn't really think I was pregnant, I just thought my period is late, is because I was normal. Like I was, as I'm feeling now, very normal. Then my period delayed, and you know how it goes. Battery, give it another 5 days before you start getting excited. In fact, give it 2 weeks before you start getting excited. Anyway, waited, and then one day I was like, this is a lot. Went to the nearest Dis-Chem. I bought pregnancy test, got home, and then I tested myself, and it came out positive. I don't remember what I felt. I don't remember what I felt, but I know I did have a sense of victory. The pattern has changed. The bloodline story has changed. The norm has changed. The narrative has been rewritten. That's what I felt at the time. I called Mr. K, showed him the thingy, and he literally said to me, "We did it." Because when you marry someone, their struggles somehow become your struggle. Their truth becomes your truth to a degree. The things they battling and they have to fight and they have to conquer, they become the things that you too must conquer. So when he didn't say you did it, he said we did it. And I knew that we did it. I took a Koki pen and I wrote hello number 2. What did I write? Hello number 2. I forgot, and I was actually looking at it just 2 days ago. Hello, but it has hello number 2, and then there's something else that I wrote. Anyway, then I don't know. I don't wanna think as somebody who has not worked through this, because I don't wanna think like that. But I do know that. Okay, let me not go back and forth. Here I am wanting to tell you what I felt after the miscarriage instead of just flowing with the story. Okay, Linda, pull yourself together. Right. So then I tell myself I'm going to begin the journey, and at 12 weeks I'm gonna go see my gynae. This is what I told myself. 2 weeks after I find out, 2 weeks after I find out, I think I was about 8 weeks or so. When I find out, I then call Pindi, Pastor Pindi, Apostle Pindi. She comes to the house. She came to the house. I remember she slept over. We were having dinner. So I'm really busy more having dinner. I'm like, oh, okay. I know this feeling, and this feeling feels like the visitor that comes to women every month. So I stand up, I go to the bathroom, and I'm like, okay, blood. But this time around, the panic was almost subtle because we've been here, Kali said. We've been here, and at some stage, another doctor told me could be the fibroids that were reacting and whatever, and that's why you were bleeding. So my mind took me to what doctor said. I was like, I know, it must be the fibroids, and there's no pain at all, like not even the slightest of period pain, nothing. So I'm thinking, okay, it's the same feeling, same pattern, so relax, Linda. Go to the bathroom, I put on a pad, I go sit back down. As if nothing just happened. I'm not panicking, I'm not on some take me to the doc, like nothing. Anyway, we continue to eat dinner, and then we go to bed. And the next day she was leaving. Next day she goes back to her place, and then I obviously stay at my place. But this time around, it's getting weirdish because the bleeding is not stopping. It's not hectic, but it's not stopping. So I was like, that day it went tweet, and then it stopped and never came back until some couple of weeks, but not like this. And I thought, okay, let me go to the doctor. It was Saturday. Yes. Woke up, I went to the doctor. The doctor tests me. So I had gone to another doctor prior just to confirm the pregnancy. So they obviously test you, you go to a Lancet. So only my HCG levels when I went to test. So when I then go back this time around, they were able to compare the two HCG levels, and he could see that they're going down. So he then said to me, okay, I'm going to prescribe you estrogen, that pink and white box. I'm going to prescribe you this. It's going to help you carry the pregnancy, because I am seeing a bit of a decline in the levels of the estrogen that I'm like, okay, no sharp. So I go home with the confidence, and then it's just persisting. It's just persisting. Eventually, I start getting worried because I'm like, it's not supposed to happen like this. It's not supposed to be this long. And anyway, I go to my doctor on Monday. It was a bit of drama at the front desk, but my doctor wasn't available. Went to the next door, private hospitals, So I went to another OB not far from my doctor. Tested me, never gave me my results back ever. Story for another day. I was not happy with how I was treated there. But anyway, the next day I go see my doctor, and she's just an amazing woman, She carried me. She called, I remember very well, she called me when she eventually got the story. In fact, no. On Tuesday, I was trying to get an appointment and I couldn't get it. And then I called her just before her knock-off time. They're like, oh no, she's going to fetch her son from school. Da, da, da. I'm like, I need to talk to her. When I spoke to her and I explained everything, she delayed picking up her child from school. Pulled my Lancet reports over the last 2 weeks or so, and she called me at about 5 to 5 or so, and she confirmed that no, the decline it's a lot. But she also mentioned that when she looks at the first Lancet test, when she looks at the first test, she can see that the HCG was not at a satisfactory level at that time. So when I said earlier on, I don't want to be jumping forward, let me tell it, in order or in sequence, and I don't want to be feeling the things that I felt then. So I'm going to share what I felt then. That regret that says, I should have just gone to her from the very beginning, because it's my gynae, she knows my journey, she knows my story. She would have picked it up, she would have probably, could have, a lot of them that I had from within me. But yeah, unfortunately, she then confirms that, and she then agreed to see me the very next day. She's like, we'll slot you in somewhere. I went, she saw me, foggy. It's really honestly foggy. I cannot remember what was the next step from then. But long story short, my world crashed. Hope sort of escaped me. The story suddenly changed. The narrative suddenly changed. It was no longer the same again. I want to put it this way. I know that the pains are not the same, but the agony I felt far surpasses what made me write Shadows of My Scars. Far surpasses it. It doesn't even get close to it. It doesn't. It's unexplainable. It made me realize that you don't become a mom the day you give birth. You become a mom the day you conceive. You become a mom then. So that in a nutshell, and I know it's not a nutshell, but that in a nutshell is one of the main reasons why I temporarily hung my mic. I know that there's certain pains that still pushes you to the pulpit and you press on in the pain. But this was not the type of pain I was going to be able to deliver while I walk in it. I didn't have the capacity to do that. I didn't have the capacity to even make sense of what was going on at the time. I didn't hate God. No, didn't hate God. Not at all, actually. I just felt powerless, empty. Yeah, powerless and empty. and not the other words were worthless. No, 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 no. I conquered that in Shadows of My Scars. I just felt like Nekisinamatla. You know, it felt like I'm boneless. Felt like I'm just walking the flesh, and there's no bones that carries the flesh. But a very big thank you to people who carried me through the pain. You know? And I need you to understand this. I'm not getting teary because of the pain. I think I'm getting teary because, one, as an only child, you are most likely to go through many things alone because you don't have an immediate DNA sibling to come and help you carry it. But now God has blessed me with spiritual sisters who've become my sisters, you know? And they showed up for me. They showed up for me. Okay, I'll first thank Pinti, Pastor Pinti, Apostle Pinti. She moved out of her house to come stay with me for 2 weeks. 2 weeks. Yeah. And she literally did everything for us, for myself and my kids. She did everything for us. She cooked for us. She made sure that we are okay. I think at some point I had flu, and she made sure that I'm well fed and well treated. And to those who might be asking how, unfortunately my husband works in the Eastern Cape, and he kinda had to, like, you know, when a project belongs to you, it becomes difficult when it's at critical stages to leave it and be absent. He did come, but he couldn't drop everything and come immediately. And I do not even on a single day, I do not feel, I know how he can kill a lion for me. I know that without a doubt. And I know what kept him in the Eastern. I understand why he had to be there for 1 more week, because Pindi continued to stay with us even after he came. So I think he came like 5 days later, if I'm not mistaken. Anyway, she was there. She was there for me. She was there for my kids. She was there. She was there. She was present. And then there's another sister, Basana. You know, Basi, we were chatting. And this time, Pinti's long gone. I mean, it's like maybe a month later. We're chatting, and then Basi is like, how are you doing? Like, how are you? And I remember I just broke down, and I'm like, I'm not okay. I'm not okay. I'm not okay. I'm a mess. God, I don't know. It almost feels like she had a bad pact and ready in case I need her. She was at my doorstep. Not next week, not next month, the same day. She brought me lots of food. Lots of sugar. She's like, you need sugar. Yeah. She came through. She really, really came through. You know, people like Budumi, constantly checking, constantly wanting to know, are you okay? Do you want me to come through? You know, even after my husband went back to the Eastern Cape, there were people who were just present. You know, I remember a friend of mine, she said to me later on, she said, if you remember, after you told me, I brushed it. It was as if you didn't say anything to me. And she had her own reasons that she explained later that made sense to me. And also they made sense why she had to talk to me at that time. You know, Mudimu is very strategic. So even despite you brushing me off, I want to thank her as well, because she was strategically used by God as well. And yeah, in ways that she did. I don't want to share her story, it's her personal story. So I want to thank all of you, girls. I know that I could be forgetting some people now, because this is one of those impromptu, as I progress, this is really impromptu. Pumzile, you see now, Pumzile, my baby sister. I let her out and closed the door and left her outside, but she still found her way in and supported me, you know, how I needed to be supported. Our pal prayed with me, continued to pray and believe God with me. I don't know who else I'm forgetting, but yeah, thank you, ladies. And that incident silenced me. It just shut my mouth completely. And this is why I've been off the pulpit. I needed to regain strength. I needed to come back stronger. You know, Jesus says to Peter, when you come back, strengthen others. So I needed to find capacity, strength that I can be able to share today. And this is why I am here. So you're going to see more of me now again. You're going to hear my voice often again on various platforms, because Nila Nibuyili, you know, there's this TikTok sound now that's in my head, although they use a different element that I'm not going to use, but Ibuili pasta. That's my new sound. Yeah, and I hope that the Lord, I pray, you know, that the Lord will continue to use me. I pray that He will continue to allow His anointing to flow through me. I pray that my assignment will just you know, prevail and just manifest in ways that I've never ever imagined. You know, just doing this short prayer made me remember something that someone said. I don't know of these sisters of mine, either Dumi or Pumzile. One of them said this to me, and I was like, ha. They said to me, when you launched My Womanhood, My Worth, it was about your womanhood being stripped and taken away from you in a way that you wouldn't have wanted it to be taken. And that birthed a ministry, My Womanhood, My Worth. But right now, what has just been born and birthed, which is closely connected to your womanhood and your worth, came from a different place of pain. And this, for me, this is the person, they saying this to me, says, this for me is sealing the ministry. And I close by saying that. As soon as she said that, I was like, wow. Just wow. The prices we pay for the mandates we carry sometimes they are heavier than what we think we can carry. But the mandate and the assignment and the reason why will forever far surpass our own understanding. And thank you so much. And I hope to see you at preaching engagements, on various platforms, on Facebook Lives, on whatever. Lord, use me. I hope you're going to be there with me. And until next time, toodles.